My name's Ian and I'm a Yorkshireman.
And I am Juliana, I'm from Colombia.
And we've been working for 6 years with Latin Link now in Peru. For our first 4 years we were based in Lima, but our passion and our heart has always been to work with the Quechua churches and communities. The Quechua is basically the largest indigenous group that there is in Latin America. Speak the Quechua language. We've actually been trying to learn the Quechua language ourselves. Very complicated with lots of suffixes and long words. But we feel very encouraged. Finally we're reaching a stage where we can worship in Quechua, we can understand the hymns we're singing, we can communicate with people. Not quite at the stage of preaching yet, but we are learning Quechua, and it really is a key to get to people's hearts. It's a heart language of people here.
Particularly with women in the rural areas, it's very, very important to have the Quechua. It really makes you get closer to the people.
Okay, so a lot of our leadership work is towards the south of Cuzco. We travel out between 3 and 6 hours towards the area of the south of Cuzco city. So it does mean a lot of travelling, but that's really where the needs are. It's where the church has grown in an amazing way, but a church that really does need support and encouragement and teaching. And we're working with my colleague Josias from the IP denomination. We're working in 3 different regions of the south: Acomayo, Paruro and Layo. And we're heading off today to Layo. We've just headed directly south from Cuzco a couple of hours, and now we're heading towards this beautiful big lake called Layo. You could say it's kind of the Bible belt of the southern highlands of Peru. Around this lake there's like 20 small churches in a number of different communities. So we want to just show you a little bit of the reality of the church there and talk to some of the leaders, the young people there. The church has really grown explosively, particularly in the 70s and the 80s. And the model it's had has been with a team of elders, so the churches haven't had ordained leadership. The model they've had has meant that they can spread really quickly, but there's a new challenge now, and the challenge is this: that there isn't a kind of a leadership that can really build up the church, that can edify people from the word, that can give good pastoral care to people. So sadly, what we're seeing in many of the churches is that they're actually in decline now. And that's where we come in. One of the major areas of our work is leadership, Quechua leadership training. I have a very good friend here who's kind of the theological training person of the IP Church, and we're working together, visiting 3 regions and supporting church leaders with training. It's nothing, it's not highly academic. We're teaching things like basic doctrine, teaching things about Christian leadership, servant leadership. We're looking at how to prepare a message, how to interpret the Bible, what God's purpose for the church is. So in a way taking people back to basics, but what we hope is that by strengthening the leaders, they in turn can build up the churches and give better pastoral care to their members as well.
Buenas tardes, hermano. Me llamo Josías Mamani. Soy natural de este pueblo, de Layo. Estoy colaborando aquí en la región de Layo y desde aquí de Layo a toda la región del Cuzco, en la enseñanza, sobre todo, en la enseñanza, en las capacitaciones, en Biblia. Lo que necesitan los líderes es actualizarse para dar respuestas a las preguntas y los problemas actuales de la Iglesia. Sabemos que hay mucho desafío en cuanto a la fe del creyente, entonces nosotros queremos que los líderes estén actualizados también, que su enseñanza y su predicación sea pertinente a la necesidad, a la exigencia de los líderes para que ellos sigan alimentando a los creyentes, y estoy seguro que eso está lográndose el objetivo con las capacitaciones que estamos llevando con su colaboración, hermano Ian. Entonces es muy importante esto, ¿no? Demasiado importante para que la iglesia siga fundamentado en la palabra y siga manteniendo la fe que siempre ha caracterizado desde los misioneros.
We have been working together with the local municipality to provide a drop-in space, a weekly drop-in space for the elderly. And we hope to get, there probably is going to be a lot of interest in this space for the elderly. Just a place where they can come and talk together, where they can have some refreshments, maybe do some exercises, and we can provide some spiritual message, encouragement to them, which is so needed. Really, their main need is loneliness and isolation. So we hope that this will be a meaningful space for the elderly in San Jerónimo. And then we hope, and we are already doing some work rurally, supporting small church efforts to care for the elderly as well.
So we're really pleased to be a part of Latin Link. We have a small team here. We have really good friendships with Roland and Jenny Brown, working in Cuzco as well. So that's a real source of encouragement. And we do feel there's a community behind us as well, in the UK, in Ireland, praying for us in our work. We're really grateful for the support from our sending church, Guildford Baptist Church in Guildford, for their prayer support and their giving as well. We're just really grateful for that, that backing, that people are sharing our vision and getting behind us in that vision. As a couple, we're really committed to holistic mission. So we both find it a privilege to be able to use our professions as well in the work that we're doing. I'm a nutritionist by training, fascinated by food and some of the indigenous crops that they grow here, like lupins and quinoa, which are very nutritious. That was the food of the Incas that helped them grow strong and build those big walls. And so one of the big needs here is actually chronic malnutrition amongst children. And the women's groups are very dynamic in the churches. There's a group here in Layo that gathers regularly 90, 100 women from the different communities. So we've started doing some nutrition training in that space, helping them to understand the principles of feeding their family well. We really feel as well that God's called us to help bring people together. In Peru there's a lot of very strong denominationalism, and sometimes the church doesn't communicate. The different evangelical churches don't have much relationship. And where we're living, we've got a number of joint prayer meetings. We're trying to encourage the churches to come together, to work together. Obviously, getting them involved together in the project to help the elderly, the Towner project as well. And that's something we really appreciate about Latin Link, that it's an interdenominational mission. We have that freedom to see how we can bring people together. And we really feel that's God's will for His church as well. Christ died to form a single body now, and there's something very special when people come together and recognise each other and have fellowship together. We'd really ask for your prayers for our work with the elderly. There's such a big need, and knowing where to start, and we obviously can't help everybody. Really, that God will bless that work. And also that the churches can engage in the vision. We sometimes find people here are so busy with their families, with their different jobs and activities on the farm and that kind of thing. Actually getting them to be able to give time from the churches is difficult as well. So really pray that the churches can own the vision as well. Because our idea in setting up Towner is really that it belongs to the local churches. It's not, we're kind of facilitators, we're kind of envisioning people and accompanying them, but we really want it to belong to the local churches. Also, there's lots of changes going on in the Bible Institute. They're facing new challenges, the time is different, the students' needs are different, and really they want to be responding to the needs of the rural churches. So we want to get alongside them in that as well, and helping them redesign and make their work as a Bible Institute more effective.
We would also appreciate prayers for our family. Bringing up 2 children in a different context, it also has its challenges and a lot of richness as well. And just pray for them, for their upbringing and opportunities in schooling and also in serving.
This place where we are, there's an amazing missionary legacy there. The forerunner missions of Latin Link, RBMU and USA, have started working here over 100 years ago. There's an amazing legacy, amazing sacrificial service, you know, that helped to plant the churches in this part of Peru, southern Peru. And we just, little by little, we're discovering more of this legacy, you know, that is there. I feel very privileged, you know, to be following on in that.
Bueno, para nosotros aquí en la Iglesia del Ayo, la misión Enlace Latino significa muchísimo. Creo que la obra aquí en Layo se debe desde sus fundamentos por los hermanos que han venido de la misión Enlace Latino, misioneros ingleses. Ellos han sembrado el Evangelio por todos estos lugares, entonces para nosotros tiene mucho significado la misión Enlace Latino. Es bastante alegría para nosotros contar con un misionero de Latin Link. Aquí las iglesias, por cierto, están muy agradecidos por ello.